Alright, how's it going, guys? So, top 10 most anticipated films of 2014. Yeah, I know it's mid-February, I should have done this back in January, but I'm kind of happy that I waited because there are still films that are on this list that I didn't even actually know existed until a couple weeks ago. And yeah, it just gives me more of an insight as to what's coming later in the fall. I know a lot of people did their top tens, and it was all movies like between like January and July. So there's actually a decent amount of movies that are from the fall. There's still stuff, Oscar movies come out that are announced like 2 weeks before they're released, stuff like that. So this is my top 10 list. It doesn't have a lot of summer movies, stuff like that on here that I know a lot of you guys are really into. These are just things that I'm looking forward to a lot. And this is going to be a little bit different than some of my other videos. I'm going to edit it up. It's going to be a little bit more flashy, whereas I usually just talk and let my mind go through instead of editing it around. So I hope you guys enjoy. These are my top 10 most anticipated films of 2014. Alright, starting off my list at number 10 is a film, because it is mid-February, there's a couple things that should have been on here, like Kingsman, but I'm just going to start with the things that are coming up. So, number 10, I have Chappie. Chappie's Neil Blomkamp's third sci-fi feature, besides like District 9 and Elysium. This one stars Hugh Jackman, Dev Patel, Sigourney Weaver, and Ninja and Yolandi from the band I really dislike called Die Antwoord. Yeah, it's just basically this movie looks as if somebody wanted to remake Short Circuit, couldn't get the rights to Short Circuit, and so he just kind of remade it anyways. It's about a robot that has consciousness, and it's if it delivers what I think Neil Blomkamp really usually does deliver. You have cool sci-fi action, cool tech, a really cool kind of grungy sci-fi vision, and usually a pretty good story. I'm a big fan of Elysium. I'm a big fan of District 9. So I think this movie looks fantastic, and knowing now that it's rated R just makes me more excited for it because I like that kind of no holds bar sci-fi approach. Elysium wasn't a super graphic movie, but it felt better and it felt more real and alive because it was rated R and it didn't have the restrictions of that. Chappie comes out March 6th, so that's coming up, so I'll probably do a review of that here shortly. I know a couple of people have seen it already, and they say it's fantastic, so I'm really, really looking forward to that. So Chappie is my number 10 on my top 10 films of 2015. Number 9 on my list of top 10 movies I'm most anticipated about in 2015 is Run All Night. It is from the same director. I'm pulling a blank on his name. He's the director that directed Unknown and Nonstop, and he reteams with Liam Neeson for a kind of dark and gritty, stylish tale about a mob enforcer and his son fleeing after the mob enforcer kills the mob boss's son. So it's kind of a big circle of family revenge. It has Liam Neeson, who is still at the peak of his action career. I really think that Liam Neeson is kind of the Arnold Schwarzenegger of our generation. People keep being, talking about like having Arnold Schwarzenegger back, but I really think Liam Neeson has stepped up to this crazy action hero. I love all of his movies, pretty much besides Taken 2 and 3, they're really bad. Everyone else, Nonstop, Unknown, A Walk Among the Tombstones, they're all just really fantastic, and I'm really excited to see what he has in store for more. Run All Night has just like really super stylish marketing campaign, and every time I'm driving by in Hollywood, it gets my attention. This stars Liam Neeson, Joel Kinnaman, Common, and Ed Harris. I think those are the four main players, and it just looks like a dark and gritty action thriller, and I'm really excited to see what this is. So that's my number 9. Number 8 is a movie that I think a lot of people are excited for, and that is Guillermo del Toro's Crimson Peak. I love Guillermo del Toro. Even his worst movie, which in my opinion is Mimic, is still way better than almost any other kind of horror movie I've seen in a long time. I think Mimic's awesome, and that's his worst movie. So I think everything the man touches turns to gold. He's making the movies that like I wanted to see as a kid, but are still grown up enough that like they're really accessible now. I don't know a lot about this movie. I saw the trailer. It didn't give a lot away. I'm thankful for that. I really wanted to avoid the trailer, but it was right before Kingsman. So yeah, it looks fantastic. It stars Mia Wasikowska, Tom Hiddleston, Jessica Chastain, and Charlie Hunnam, and it's this gothic ghost tale just set in like a creepy mansion in like the 18th century, and that for me that just sounds fantastic. And Guillermo del Toro said I think the movie's already rated R2 for like strong but bloody violence, so I'm really excited to see that. I like when he gets to do his like gothic horror things, which is entertaining because usually Del Toro he makes the Spanish gothic horror movies like The Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth, and then the American blockbusters, like Hellboy and Pacific Rim and Blade. So it's kind of cool to see him doing an American movie, but in his Spanish themes, which I'm really excited for. So that's my number 8. Number 7 on my list is Spectre. It's James Bond. I don't really feel like I need to explain that at all. Skyfall was incredible. James Bond, Daniel Craig's back. He's the best Bond in my opinion. We got Christoph Waltz as the bad guy, Dave Bautista, who's fantastic as Drax, and the Bond girl. I cannot remember her name. I'm sorry. It's the girl from Blue is the Warmest Color. She is absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name right off the top of my head. But yeah, Spectre comes out in November. One of my most anticipated movies. I think it's going to be fantastic. Sam Mendes is back directing. So, number 6 on my list is a movie that I was casually optimistic for, and then I saw the trailer and totally on board. And that is Colin Trevorrow's Jurassic World. I grew up on Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. I love dinosaurs. I love all of it. Every piece of it. I love all of them. I even love the third one. It's just very nostalgic for me. So, they've been talking about Jurassic Park 4 for absolute years, and I never thought it was going to happen. It was supposed to come out in 2014, but, things happened. I'm really glad that it's actually finally coming out. I think Chris Pratt is a fantastic actor. I'm really excited to see what he does with the film. And Colin Trevorrow's Safety Not Guaranteed is a really sweet, down-to-earth movie, so I hope we get some of that kind of characterization in the new Jurassic Park movie. I don't have a problem with the whole hybrid dinosaurs. It's fresh. It's something new. It's not just people go to an island, they get eaten by dinosaurs. I think it's going to be the summer movie. I really, really hope that this is the summer movie because this is the blockbuster movie that I'm looking forward to most. Last year was Godzilla, and I liked Godzilla, but it still kind of disappointed me. So I really hope I can go into this one with high expectations and leave just being blown away, with Super 8 and stuff like that. I think because Spielberg's name is attached to it, there's the chance that it's going to be fantastic. I really think it's going to be fantastic. So cross my fingers that Jurassic Park is awesome because it's my number 6. Alright, so number 5 is a movie that I know a lot of you guys might not even know is coming out, but Christmas 2015 brings us what could be the coolest Christmas horror movie in a really long time. It's from the director of Trick or Treat, the horror anthology that everyone loves. It is Krampus. If people aren't familiar with Krampus, it is a German tradition. It's kind of like the anti-Santa Claus. It's this monster that eats bad kids. And, Michael Daughtry did such a fucking good job with Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is like a seminal Halloween movie. I watch it every year, and I know I'm not in the minority. Everyone does. And I hope he can bring something to Krampus that is the same, where every Christmas I'm like, I need to watch Krampus. The movie stars Alison Tolman, and if you've heard about me rant about Fargo, or if you follow me on Twitter, I've ranted about the TV show Fargo since it came out. It's probably the best TV show I've ever seen. It is so good from beginning to end, but it stars her, and she is fucking phenomenal in Fargo, so I'm really excited to see how she is in Krampus. This movie is done through Legendary and Warner Brothers, which means it's going to be a bigger budget movie, and I'm just fucking excited. It's going to be so good, I hope. I hope it's going to be good. It comes out in December, so Christmas movie. It's going to get you in the Christmas spirit one way or another. So it's my number 5. Alright, guys. So my number 4 on my list is a movie that, I actually, it might come as a bit of a surprise. It is Straight Outta Compton. I'm a kid from Wyoming. When I was in high school, I listened to NWA constantly. I'm a skinny white kid, so that there's something for me that's very funny about that. But I knew all of the song or the lyrics to every single NWA song, and I loved it. I lived by it, and I'm really excited to see this story told. The story and the rise and fall of Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and Ren. It's just a very interesting topic for me. The movie is done through Legendary again, so it's really fantastic production design, or not production design, production value. This isn't just some kind of cheap biopic. This is something that a lot of people are putting a lot of money into. I know Ice Cube's son is playing Ice Cube in the movie. I don't know much about that. I've seen the trailer. Super excited for that. It comes out in August. Yeah, Straight Outta Compton. If you haven't listened to MWA, listen to MWA because it'll make your day. It's hilarious. It's hilarious and it means something and it's just really, really good rap. So Straight Outta Compton is my number 4. Alright, so my number 3 is a film that if I had done this list at the beginning of the year, it wouldn't have been on here because I didn't even know it existed. I heard from a lot of my friends and some coworkers about this. It premiered in Sundance, and it is a new horror film that just got bought by A24, so it should release in 2015. I hope that's why it's on this list. I'm pretty sure it will. Called The Witch. Now, The Witch is kind of a satanic horror movie. You know, I really love horror set in like this 1600s, I think. But it's about like a kind of a pioneer pilgrim family, and they're just devout Christians, and they're living on a farm. And when one of the youngest children disappears and their crops begin to fail, the family turns on each other, and they don't know whether it's supernatural. I've heard this movie's absolutely terrifying and tense and just a fucking amazing movie, so I'm so excited for it. You know, there's only a few pictures up. I can't wait to see a trailer for whenever they release this. If you haven't heard of The Witch, this is a really good time to check it out, you know, something new. At number 2, I'm cheating a little bit. I have seen this movie. It's been playing festivals for a while. I've seen it once. I almost went to Sundance just to see it again because I loved it so much. And it comes out in March. It comes out super soon, so I'm putting it on this list because I really want to tell you guys about it. I want to review it, but I thought I'd wait just a little bit more, so, you know, it's kind of relevant. But the movie that is my number 2, it's most anticipated because I want to see it again and again and again and again, is It Follows. It Follows is a horror film. It follows the Micah Monroe, who was in last year's The Guest, one of my favorite movies. She plays Jay, just a very innocent teenager living in Detroit, who after kind of a random sexual encounter gets somewhat like kind of an STD per se, where there's an unexplainable evil that follows her. Only she can see it, and it never quits following her. So this movie is just about paranoia, and it's so creepy and so scary, and it has a fantastic score. This is one of the best horror movies I've probably ever seen, not ever seen, but in the last like 4 or 5 years. It's just really, really good. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's coming to theaters and VOD. I think March 13th. I think it got pushed forward, which is actually cool. It's directed by David Mitchell, I think that's his name. But it is absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to show my friends. I can't wait. It is so good. You will fucking love it. You will love it. That's why it's my number 2, even though I've already seen it, but still. Alright guys, and my most anticipated film of 2015 is a science fiction film from A24. It is called Ex Machina. Ex Machina, I think this is already out in the UK, so I'm so jealous of you guys. It is directed and written by Alex Garland, who wrote like 28 Days Later and Sunshine, Danny Boyle's films. He is, in my opinion, a sci-fi god. This movie has one of the fucking coolest trailers I've ever seen. It stars Alicia Vikander, I think that's how you say her name, Domhnall Gleeson, and Oscar Isaac, and it's the story of a person that they win in a contest a trip to meet kind of like an eccentric, I don't know, programmer. He builds AIs, and he gets to spend time with this fully functional AI that begins to play mind games, and it's high concept sci-fi. It's super cool. It's super stylish from what I've seen so far. I'm really looking forward to it. I've pretty much actually, like, if you can't tell by like the way that I can't really describe the plot, I watched the first trailer and tried to stay away from everything. I'm not reading articles. I'm not watching behind the scenes. I want to go into this thing fresh because I love Sunshine. I love Sunshine, and I love 28 Days Later. I've actually seen 28 Weeks Later more than I've seen 28 Days Later, but 28 Days Later is still fucking great. So I'm super, super excited for this film, and it is my number 1 on my top 10 list of most anticipated films of 2015. I'm just super looking forward to this. You know, I appreciate all you guys watching my videos still. You know, I'm trying to get better about making new ones and doing different things. You know, I'm doing a lot of like kind of obscure movie reviews. I do want to do Blu-ray updates. I just don't buy movies as much anymore because they're expensive, and it's like I only buy the ones I truly want. I'm going to, because there's 3 or 4 that have come out recently that I do want. Like I really want Nightcrawler and I haven't bought it yet. So I'm gonna try to go on and do like kind of an out and about video here pretty soon to get Nightcrawler. So I might film that. It's been a long time since I did one of those. Yeah, there are movies on this list that I didn't put. I could care less about the Avengers. Terminator Genesis, I do want to see. I'm casually optimistic about that. I'm not Avengers, whatever. Star Wars. Star Wars isn't on here purely because I haven't watched a Star Wars film in so long. I love the trailer for the new one. It's so good. It made me feel like a kid again. I'm just not putting it on here because as of right now, I'm excited, but it's not like, oh my god, I must see like a lot of people. So, yeah, but it is, and I did take it into accounting. But, Avengers, Terminator, stuff like that. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I can't wait to review these films as they come out. You can follow me on Twitter down below. I'm always talking about movies and stuff like that. Yeah, I appreciate the follows, it's cool to know that you guys actually care about my opinions. I will see you later, and thanks for watching.